And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the Mythic Championship Grand Final between PEW and ZENON. Galaxy, I'm hyped.
I'm hyped too. I say we've seen some good plays, some good moments so far, and I'm looking forward to a best of 5. Always makes things exciting.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, just before the break, we were saying, the cheese can get a couple of maps, but will the best of 5 eliminate the amount of cheese that PEW can do? I mean, they're both fantastic players on all sides. So realistically, it's just going to come down to a good old who's got the best skill, really.
Yeah, it's saying obviously which team's got the most diversity in their drafts, and what we've seen, especially from PEW, is that is extremely possible. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of drafts and compositions both teams make.
Yeah, and both teams obviously looking to get that final crown of Mythic Championship champions to join the likes of the Legendary Cup champions of Don Arfadoras, the Epic Cup champions of Unstoppable, and of course the Rare Cup champions that were Sloth High Lords. So, that was the Season 12 winners. So ZENON and PEW going into this first game, we've had a few map bans already come out. We've had Alterac Pass and Volsky Foundry banned out by ZENON, as well as Shrines and Towers of Doom banned out by PEW. But of course, going into the winners bracket, PEW got to pick the map before any of the bans, and that was Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Which is interesting. Obviously, it's a heavy team fight. Limited macro options, so it's going to be interesting. I don't believe Butcher would be too much of an effect here. I think ZENON would be able to deal with it on this map, but with the bans going straight away, Medivh and Zarya banned, kind of the standard, kind of what we've seen quite a lot already, especially the Zarya ban.
Yeah, PEW did run obviously Murky here earlier. Maybe ZENON will consider that in their draft. Maybe adapting some of their picks just to be able to deal with it, even if it's not picked up, just in case. But PEW now taking a little bit of time in their second ban. Now what do you think is their priority pick? What's going to be their first pick on Tomb of the Spider Queen?
Normally on Tomb of the Spider Queen, it's obviously heavy wave clear comes into its effect. So a Johanna, maybe a Gul'dan, or maybe if you want to go into a Vala Oriole, which still is run quite a bit in the meta, but obviously with the Johanna ban, cancels that out. Both teams, quite a lot today, just taking out the tanks. But first pick Zul, exactly, the wave clear. This is what this map is mainly about. You dominate the wave clear, dominate the rotations, and you can take level leads and snowballs.
Yeah, I mean, I blinked and Zul was picked. It's that instant first lock, but we see a Kerrigan ETC to return. I mean, is that hyper aggression? Is that a good way to deal with Zul?
That's it. The main way to deal with Zul is just to blow the shield up. Burst. He has that 25% maximum health on his shield, but that can be deleted ever so quickly with the right combo. And Ultralisk has shown a few times that his Kerrigan is pretty good. He's definitely been working on it.
Yeah, and the Tyrael, the Halcyon special, it feels like today, picking up this Tyrael to bolster the Zul, maybe that additional shield on top. I mean, is that enough to counter this? But without the ETCs interrupt, is that something to consider?
It's going to depend heavily on obviously whether or not he gets the Sanct off before the ETC stun or the cancellation on the Mosh Pit, because I assume on this map, Mosh Pit is the way to go. The good thing is for them that at level 13, Ana gets the stun removal and the 50 armor, so any stun from ETC or Kerrigan combo can be very quickly nullified by one Ana Q, which is why she's such a fun hero.
Yeah, she gets more and more tools as the game goes on. Obviously, Ana not being able to deal with stuns and burst early in the game, but later on when you're just able to pump 3 healing darts into a stun target, they walk out usually pretty fine. The Jaina and the Malfurion banned out there in the second ban phase. Malfurion as a follow-up for ETC, but no longer. What sort of support picks do you think X-Ray will be looking at?
Probably Rhaegar or Stukov. Stukov for the slow silence combo, and obviously the root at level 13, because Ana can clear stuns but not roots unless she specs into it on 13 as well. And then obviously the Jaina ban is just a ban to take away the nano boost target on Zul's root. But The Decade comes up, you know, really, really effective. If Still goes into a W build, obviously the healing build and the cooldown reduction, Decade can nullify that with Emerald on one of his gems with the 75% less healing. So definitely some tools to deal with it.
Yeah, Decade obviously with that big zoning, but you know, trying to get those follow-ups with Decade, obviously it takes a while for any of his abilities to go through. Are they going to have that instant blow-up potential with the Kerrigan? Is there what is their off-lane sort of going to be looking like?
The offlane, I could see maybe a Blaze pickup, especially now you've got the Sylvanas Deathwing. I think with the Tyrael Zul Deathwing, it's a very heavy front line, so ETC will struggle on his own, and Kerrigan won't be too much help. So I think maybe a Blaze, maybe a Leo to obviously provide the damage reduction with his E-build could be very effective. I'd say the Blaze picked up.
Yeah, obviously this is Tomb of the Spider Queen, so they've got to have some consideration of wave clear. It looks a little weak on the side of Xenon. Is that something they should be concerned about?
It definitely is a little weak on the wave clear, and once again, like their damage on Deathwing isn't that great either. Kerrigan into Deathwing, like Kerrigan's never going to stun Deathwing, so the burst potential is a bit lacking. The wave clear could be an issue. I could easily see Hype PEW snowballing the game if they get ahead early.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Sylvanas, everything on their team just speaks wave clear and snowballing to me. The consistent damage is something that's lacking, perhaps on the side of Hype PEW, but I mean, people always say Sylvanas does way more damage than you think, and I think that's absolutely true.
Especially because she's got the opportunity to be nano boosted. Maybe we'll see Eye of Horus again. We did see it in the last series after I said we probably wouldn't, but maybe we will.
You absolutely never know with these teams. Obviously, we're going into game 1 of the Mythic Championship, Hype PEW versus Xenon, and we'll pass over to Aviator and Aaron.
Here it is, ladies and gentle sloths. We are here, the grand final, a best of 5 between Hype PEW and Xenon. In the left side, for Hype PEW, we have Anna, played by MXD, Zul by Swamp Group, Tyrael by Halcyon, Sylvanas by Riku, and Deathwing by Blank.
And on the right-hand side, the red team, we have Team Xenon. We have Death Knight on the Cow ETC, X-Ray on the Old Man Deckard, Dino on the Hot Flaming Blaze, Ultralisk on the Kerrigan, I have no description for that, and Shelvin on Jimmy Rayner.
It was almost there.
I almost nailed it.
If you look at talents, we see it's a Sylvanas stacking. Now, I know Galaxy has his face in his hands right now at this moment in time, because Galaxy, who was the analyst just a moment ago, hates the stacking Sylvanas and only rates either Q or the Overwhelming Affliction. But we'll see how that Sylvanas goes. Obviously into ETC Blaze, and on this map, perhaps, with that heavy rotation and constant brawling, we'll see some heavy stacks, as we already see him at 5 stacks from that first skirmish.
I partially do agree with that opinion, but anyways, we also see Executioner going on Rayner as well, which is very interesting because what I do notice from the red team is just the slight lack of wave clear. But now with Executioner, Shelva is going to be able to shred through the waves and through the objective if the enemy team gets it.
Yeah, and obviously we see through from the swarm from Kerrigan as well. So I think there was some concern about wave clear from the side of Xenon, but I actually think with Kerrigan particularly post 4 as well, with that Rayner Executioner, I think it'll be fine. I mean, you look at Ultralisk, obviously getting that Q reset when the minion dies. I think they're absolutely fine with their wave clear. Although I think later game, right, I think defending the spiders is the issue. I think wave clear in the rotations will be fine. I think it's the actual defending of a pay-in that will be an issue. But we see the camp being picked up here by the red team, Xenon. And on the left side, we see the blue team responding and taking this as well. Swamp, obviously, on that Zul, just shredding away.
It is going to be taking Zul a little while because Zul doesn't really come online until finally his Epic's power spike is 16. We do see a possible engage here in the middle as Kerrigan is bumping around. She does her combo on the Tyrael, but she has to get out because the big root from Zul is there. Deathwing is just in time just to get the stun in the backline, but they are not able to get any kills or CC chains down.
No, and obviously you needed that Sylvanas to rotate down just to disable the camp with her trait there. But obviously the four-man here, Deathwing in the offlane. Obviously, some would have thought Zul might have been in the offlane, but against Blaze, Deathwing can cope absolutely fine. The Blaze may out-rotate a little bit, but it's not so bad at all. It's not into like a Leoric again. But we see Dino with a rotation advantage now trying to go in here. The sleep comes out on to ETC. The root comes out. The combo on top of it from Kerrigan, but Kerrigan, meanwhile, being locked down here in the backline. Anna trying to heal him up, but Zul is the one who falls.
Swamp thought he could get a CC chain there and the Kerrigan in the back line, but Blaze's rotation was perfect from the bottom lane to get that kill, and he goes back down and doesn't miss a whole lot of XP. That was a very good rotation by the red team.
Yeah, perfect awareness as well, and they're already almost a level lead. Obviously, that's not quite accurate because obviously there is still mid lane and there's top lane to clear as well, but it's about a half level lead now going over to the red team.
Which means they also get a free turn-in. This is really important on this map, especially early game. If you are getting these pickoffs, that means you are getting free turn-in. I speak about free turn-in, but Kerrigan just got interrupted. I take my words back.
I was just about to say, but we see the combo going out. Kerrigan whiffing the combo here. Taking a lot of poke here from the Sylvanas. Obviously level 7 with this Sylvanas build, that's when it really sort of comes alive. We see 24 stacks. So level 7 is where it starts to sort of come alive, and we see that Zul wave clear as well. But so far, interestingly, no rotation to the bot lane. You see Zul landing a route onto ETC, ETC sliding away, anti-nade from Anna. But both teams are absolutely dandy at the moment.
Oh, I just thought of a disgusting combo. A nano boosted Zul with the Sanct on top of it.
Yeah, with that Wailing Arrow on top as well, into the anti-nade healing with that auto attack reduction as well. And Deathwing Flame on top, right? Like, all of it together. That's,
and what have you got? Bibbidi bobbidi boo. We are not going to get a turn in here, unfortunately, anytime soon. I'm smoothly moving on from that point. X-Ray is being CC'd here by Zul, but I don't think he's in a spot of trouble. I do want to mention we are playing with a Decker Kane, which is really, really fun. He's there, you don't get to see a whole lot, but big engage there by Death Knight, but he able to get a Parasite, but the root there is just to keep him busy. He's putting it shredded! I think Ultralisk is on the list as well as he goes down. Rip.
Yeah, the Sylvanas W build kind of rally there as it took down the ETC and the Kerrigan.
Oh, very well
But
played
this
there.
gives a free pay-in for the blue team. I say free, and it was free. And here we go. I was hoping no one would interrupt, right? It would be like deja vu at this moment in time. But no one interrupts it, and there's no camps either. And this is where the test for the red team's wave clear really comes into question now. We mentioned it earlier. It was mentioned by Galaxy. Is this the case?
Now we're going to see the potential wave clear from the red team. Like I said, I'm a bit wary about the red team, that they don't have the best wave clear. Obviously, they don't have any mages on their team, which are usually ultimately used for wave clear. So I do want to see how they fare. We see them in the mid lane. Sylvanas trait, deactivating the towers. I don't know. I think this is disgusting.
Yeah, I think it's just the Reyna, right? Essentially, because Ultralisk only gets it in the wave management rotation. But we see Blank coming in here. Big boy Cataclysm. Wave coming out as well. Stun. But it looks like the red team are going to disengage. But Dino coming in for a big boy flank here. Lands the stun as well. Ultralisk getting rooted here by Swamp. Swamp's in deep at the moment, but he manages
I think
to walk
he does
away.
get away though, as the red team are just focusing on clearing those waves so that it doesn't get much more than the fort. It does get the fort, but it doesn't push on to the keep. They were able to defend top and bottom as well. So 1 fort down and 2 walls.
Yeah, and we saw heavy commitment there. Obviously, Sylv cleared out the top lane and the bot lane, and then obviously the blue team just prioritized mid. Now, Tomb of the Spider Queen is that one map where all 3 lanes have a different sort of interaction between them. Oh, as we see engaged by Dino, power slide onto it as well, and Sylvanas falls down.
Very nice engage there by the Blaze. Very, very good with the power slide follow up by Death Knight as well. That was perfectly synchronized. Kerrigan is double soaking because she's so good at that on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And they're going to get a free turn in here. And this is a really good position for the red team with their level 10s. Oof, this is going to be a big moment for the red team.
Yeah, I actually don't think the Kerrigan wave clear is that bad though. With Fear of the Swarm and the Q
I
on
wasn't being
4.
sarcastic.
Oh right, I thought it was. I thought genuinely it was, but no. As I was trying to say earlier, Tomb of the Spider Queen is that one map where all 3 lanes have a different impact. Top lane's got the boss lane, you can push that. Bot lane has got the solo lane, where you can push that and make the solo lane uncomfortable. And mid lane really opens up the map and gives you that more vision awareness and things like that as well. So taking mid is open at the map, but what can they get from it here as we see X-Ray being rooted down bot lane, Hyperion coming out, Sanct being popped here. It's an early Sanct in my opinion.
And Zul not taking the big poison damagey ultimate, instead going for the slows, which I don't actually like personally.
The Skeletal Mages. No, I think Poison Nova, and Galaxy mentioned it as well, right? Level 20 Poison Nova, I've never seen it, and I've never seen it get so much value. Like, oh my god, every fight it was like, I'm gonna die, press R, instantly heal, and do a ton of damage as well, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you see Kerrigan pop there in the top lane by Tyrael and Zul? Mix doing everything he can to keep teammates alive, but there's nothing to worry about. The red team are in a good position here to maybe get a flank, perhaps, while Deathwing is forced to clear bot, because that is a spider and a small camp pushing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Deathwing just clearing it up. Obviously, Deathwing's wave clear has the breath, and that's pretty much it. The W doesn't really do much, as you can see they're being popped on the wave. It literally does pretty much nothing, it's just a tick over damage.
Rightio. So, do any of the teams have turn-in? I haven't checked yet. Let's see now. Oh, the blue team and the red team both have turn-in. This is a really good opportunity for either team to really push forward now, because the next turn-in really puts keeps into potential play now.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly for bot lane, and if not just that, just opening up the map again, just creating that space. Look at experience there, it's so even, 3 kills to 2. Both teams prioritizing these camps as well, knowing exactly what to do. See top lane, Zul being caught out there, and look at the gems. See the pings going out, but they're not going to do it. Blaze going for that flank, pops the unstoppable as well. Wailing arrow comes out, trying to peel, but is it enough? No, and Sylvanas goes down. Let's see, stay a while and listen into the Kerrigan stun, and Tyrael jumps out.
He does get away. They unfortunately couldn't CC that as perfectly as possible, but he gets away. However, this is a great opportunity for the red team. They have turn-in, they have boss, and top lane is a very scary lane to open up, because if they take the boss here, they could get keep here with turn-in as well. And a late game with a game-winning fight, you just get boss, you end with core. So it is a very scary moment for the blue team.
Yeah, and typically late game as well, what you can do is you really time it as well. Obviously, when you pay, the web weavers take a while to just land. So you normally time the boss to push with that web weaver wave, and that's normally a game-ending position.
I think they didn't time it because they were risking.
Exactly.
However, with huge engage here on the Zul, he's going to be stunned. His shield is there to pop to try and save him, but Zul is not going to get away because he just got body blocked by the bunker. However, the red team is really low. There's going to be a big ultimate by Deathwing as he splashes across through. What is going on? Ultralis stays in his little ultimate and his Chrysalis, but I don't think he's going to get away as Halcyon backs him left and right.
No, but Sylvanas chasing Dino in the bot lane and gets the kill. Obviously, that nano boost Sylvanas coming out here. Now, I know people don't like the W build Sylvanas, right? But level 13 with Windrunner, stacking that Sylvanas with nano boost as well, I think you get a total of 3 E resets with that Windrunner build as well. So you can put out a ton of damage. A shed load, as someone pointed out in chat, is what I said earlier.
This is going to be a free clear for the blue team as they had turned around that fight. And the red team is going to try and make something happen, possibly get the mid-fort out of this, as Blank is the only one defending it. And if he stays there too long, he might get shredded. I lie, he doesn't even lose a quarter of his HP. And instead, Deathwing is popping really low. It's going to be a huge engagement.
Stay well and listen though, coming out here as the root comes out onto Deathwing. Blank goes in with that flame breath. And look at the damage coming out. Death Knight, rather, taking so much damage. But lives as X-Ray throws out the potion and Death Knight drinks it comfortably.
Oh! Big combo by the Kerrigan. It doesn't quite hit the Zul. Deathwing. Oh my god, the huge mosh by Death Knight as he gets 2 people in it. And of course he gets the kill on Tyrael. Tyrael is going to try and get some trait value, but Zul is going down whether he likes it or not. And trust me, he did not like it.
No, Zul falling there. 40-second death timer. Obviously, we see Tyrael already back in 15 seconds with that new trait rework.
Best trait ever, by the way.
I know. You get to blow up and you get to come back sooner. Like, oh, it's such a good feeling.
Like my inner spirit, not animal, inner spirit hero, whatever it's called. Anyways, we see the red team pushing mid with the camp. I don't think they're going to be able to defend until Zul gets here.
Spirit Anyway, we see the red team pressuring this mid keep now. Deathwing though, going in for a big boy flank with that Cataclysm coming in here. Does have the Bellowing Roar as well. Oh, Wailing Arrow landing onto so many people. And the Sanct on top of it here. How does no one die? The bunker comes out, trying to save the red team here. Someone being popped by Blaze. Blaze should definitely fall here. Question mark? And it's definitely Reyna that goes down, not the Blaze, but Blaze falls. And thank you, Blaze goes down. But they get a counter kill onto Sylvanas.
Big X-ray roots there. The Deckard was able to get so much damage with the root, but I don't think Knight is going to get away. X-ray's trying to push as many potions he can into the cow, but it's just not enough to keep him alive. This is a great defense by the blue team, and they have turn-in. This is the turnaround once again. This is such a close game.
Yeah, blue team getting the turnaround there with the kills. Obviously, Sylvanas falling, but the red team not able to capitalize on it, and blue team waiting for the pay-in, actually. Obviously, I think trying to wait for Deathwing to tag the bottom camp. Red team, though, tagging their hard camp, so this hard camp will be time to try and defend mid lane as well.
The blue team decided not to invade. They're timing this red camp so that when the web weavers land, they have the camp here in defense to push. So it's a really good way of timing it. The blue team is opting to push top lane. Again, this is the top lane that I was speaking about, the boss lane. You know, if there's a big turnaround, it's the moment where you come back, take the boss, and go forth. Especially since the boss will be up after this turn-in, after this web weaver objective.
Yeah, and we see, as you said, we do see that commitment. Bot lane is going to be freely cleared. Mid lane being freely cleared now, and obviously that camp as well, timed to perfection, just to deny that web weaver. So it's only the top lane that gets pressured. But this web weaver is still healthy, and we do see a 5-man commitment. We do have Sylvanas trait as well available, so can use it on the wall. Not willing to, just trying to stack some more here. So you see the stacks coming out up to 87 stacks, not 86. So it's not a BG yet.
Blank is being pressured a little bit by Dino, but he does get away because he's just a Deathwing with so much HP. He's trying to stun to make sure that they can't chase. Sylvanas rotating to clear the mid lane camp. If the red team rotates fast enough, they might get a paraslide somewhere, but decide not to. They're playing very safe, playing very passively. The blue team almost have turn-in, just need one more gem, but the red team are too far away from it. They need to defend the turn-in.
And we look at kills now. We see 8 kills to 8, level 18 to 18. Structure's pretty even, although the blue team have taken some damage on their mid keep. Lane's pretty evenly pushed out as well, so this game could not be closer at the moment. As we see an engage here, the root landing onto Death Knight here, the root again, and the Sanct coming out on top of it, and that's going to be ETC getting blown up here by the blue team. Now, boss is available. ETC is dead for 50 seconds. You have pay-in, you have boss. What can you do? But we see the return engage for the sleep dart from MXD onto Ultralisk. Absolutely clutch there.
Really well played there. Ultralisk is going to have to run away as Swamp, Groot and Halcyon are chasing him down. He isn't able to land stun, but oh, Swamp is dropping really low. Deathwing goes across with Catalysm. Big silence on on Deckard, and I don't think he was able to heal the Kerrigan with that big silence. Dino gets away with the Blaze stun, and this team is just absolutely shredding. The Nana boost of Sylvanas doing so much work.
Yep. Up to 93 stacks at the moment on that W build, and obviously with that life drain 16 as well, just able to keep her alive in these team fights. But yeah, what a sleep from Anna though. That was absolutely clutch, that team fight, because if Anna dies there, the turnaround is real for the red team.
They're not going for boss. I'm pretty surprised. I thought they would go straight away and race for boss, but instead they opt for turning in. Maybe they just don't want to risk anything. They don't want to risk throwing their turning right now, or a potential comeback for the red team because they contested it. However, no, I lie. They're going for boss now.
Yeah, I think they were trying to pay in all the. I think they were just trying to slowly set up their gems just so they could pay, and now they go for the boss. But the red team, it's all going to be live. Kerrigan's going to be a little bit late to the party, but she will still be there. Now, is the blue team going to be able to engage? Root comes out here onto Death Knight again. The breath from Deathwing on top of it, and Death Knight deleted, and the boss is still available here, but it's not. Unfortunately, it just disappears as Blank was a little bit too late to tag it.
That's alright. Shelvin is really in a bad spot with the Zul slowed ultimate. He pops his ultimate to try and do some damage, but I don't think he's going to get away. Ultralisk getting the counter kill on Tyrael. Very well played there, but she might be in a bit of trouble. Oh, she's fine.
No,
Chrysalis.
absolutely not. Yeah, Chrysalis coming. Chrysalis coming out to save her. I can't say that word ever. I say Chrysalis, Crystallis, whatever it's called.
We understand you, no problem. Deathwing going across, trying to get some damage on X-Ray, but instead it's just Blaze. He pops the stubble to make sure that he doesn't take too much damage. He gets stunned, and he's going to get rooted in the fire. Okay, Bunker is going to be there just to save him and buy him some time, and he will be able to get away safely.
Yeah, but this web weaver is still healthy, and the blue team are posturing quite aggressively first. So it is a 4v3, but ETC is going to be back up in 5 seconds. Swamp Group rotating aggressively here, trying to get the route onto Ultralisk. It does. The combo's going to come out from Ultralisk, though. Lands onto Zul. Dino going in here. Malibu's coming out here on Sylvanas. Uses that bolt to engage aggressively here. So doesn't have bolt available if she needs to escape. Or E at this moment in time either. The slide, the stun, the stay a while and listen.
Stay a
with
while
that
and
20
listen,
upgrade.
putting Anna to sleep to make sure that the Sylvanas doesn't get healed, and she gets completely shredded, and the huge silence after the sleep. Anna's next on the list as she gets shredded as well. She tried to put the Kerrigan to sleep, but it was just not enough. Deathwing was going to go across, use his catalysm to get it away. Tyrael is just coming to the party late because he was not invited.
Now, red team, what do you do? You've got Pay in shortly. Are you going to boss and Pay?
I don't know, at this stage I've predicted everything wrong, so I'm just not going to say anything about what they're
The
going
blue
to do.
team, look at the blue team there. They're going for a backdoor attempt.
Ooh.
Or maybe they're not even going for a backdoor. They're just trying to pressure them, just to force them back and ignore the boss here. Boss is almost taken though, so the blue team needs to commit to this. It looks like they are. They do have Sanctification available and level 20 with Deathwing on top of it here as well. This is a heavy commitment here for the 3 blue players. Core's falling down to 80%. Is this clownable? Sanctification comes out here. Blank obviously doesn't need it here. Zul going in. Swamp Group taking a lot. Dies unfortunately at 60%. I think this is clownable.
Oh my goodness. Halson is going to die. He's going to get some trait value. Blank is going to be next on the list. That is a boss going on Core. 5 red team members alive. This could be another GG, but it could also be a turnaround, and Nana boosted Sylvanas can 1v5. I'm going to be pretty excited to see this defense by Riku. No pressure.
I mean, the red team need to try and end here, surely. The boss is half healthy. They do have Sylvanas. Sylvanas needs to be careful, they're not using E. Death Knight posturing behind Bolt and Mosh Pit, though, but it's interrupted immediately by Sylvanas. But Anna on an island gets blown up here. Stay one, listen as well. With that 20 upgrade, is going to be a silent Sylvanas. And Sylvanas, see you next game as you're taken out as well.
GG. I'm sorry, maybe it's a bit presumptuous, but I'm calling GG here. I don't think there's anything left.
I don't think it's presumptuous at this point. But we see 12 kills to 16. What a turnaround. I don't know about that core attempt. I think maybe it's a little bit, they felt forced into it or not. A little bit rushed perhaps, and a little bit rash. But GG, go over to Xenon as they take the first map in this best of 5 in the grand final.
What a game number 1. I can't believe that was the backdoor attempt at the end there. It seemed unlikely to work, and it didn't. Xenon pulling out a nice reverse there, coming out at the end. I mean, what have you got to say, Galaxy?
I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure what Hype PEW were thinking. Like, personally, if you've got a Tyrael Zul Deathwing alive, it doesn't sound like the best backdoor core you've ever thought of. You know, it's not a Grey main. You know, it's not a Jaina with icy veins. It's just a Zul who slashes and just hits the core. But you know, if they thought that was their only win condition, by all means, there's nothing wrong to make that play. At least they all did it together. But once they clowned a little bit on the core, Arna Sylv trying to do a core defense against the 5-man and the boss, it was just too hard to do anything with.
Yeah, it's always going to be tricky trying to go into that. I mean, Hype PEW, they were doing well. They got the first turn in, and they got a fort from that turn in. They obviously were showing this amazing prowess still on this map, and Xenon were certainly on the back foot for a lot of it, but being able to just pull out the win at the end there from getting a couple of pick-offs, yeah, I mean, they were constantly, I mean, there was kills on Zul as well in like the mid-game, losing a lot of gems, but this has been going back and forward. It's hard to say who's going to come out of this best of 5 at the end of this, I must say.
It's a sign that it's going to be another good series. Lots of backwards and forths, like you said. Both teams definitely had some good moments, and both teams definitely had a couple of questionable decisions as well. But there was some good sanks, good mosh pits. I really liked the synergy between the Dragon Breath build on Deathwing and then the Zul root, especially with the 25% armor reduction on level 13, because whoever got rooted by that just got melted, and obviously Deckard does not have a cleanse, so
no.
it was a really good synergy by the team, and unfortunately just a little bit of decision making in a crucial period just let them down.
Yeah, I mean that's all it can be sometimes when you're in these final places and you think, right, we can make these decisions, but it's just you've got to commit, and they obviously did try to commit for that core call, but just not quite having the full damage. We are going to be going forward to Battlefield of Eternity for the next map. First pick going over to PEW. This one was picked by ZENON, and ZENON, they showed a lot of prowess with a Zeratul and an Alarak in the last series. Are they going to be let through the draft this time?
Oh, on this map, I think this, from what I've seen today and obviously know from the players, BOE is a great map for Xenon. Realistically, there is Alarak, there is Zeratul, there is Garrosh, there is Zarya, there is obviously Exterminator Jimmy. Like
Yeah.
the list of heroes and playmaking potential Xenon has on this map. Yeah. But then again, PEW have got first pick in terms of heroes, so they may open the draft up with one of those and just say, you know what, we've taken a piece of that puzzle, and see what Xenon return with.
And of course, this is a best of 5, so PEW they could potentially lose this one, and then bring it back in a big reverse sweep if needs be. It's the best of 5 just brings out a little bit of extra leeway, but as you say, that first pick priority. Would a butcher be seen here on BOE?
I think on this map it would be a little bit difficult. When they picked him on Cursed Hollow, you noticed how they had a heavy rotational comp. Like they were never stuck in the same lane. They were rotating top, rotating mid, together with like a Tyrael Lucio, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And on BOE, obviously, a 2-lane map makes it hard to get stacks. I could see Blank doing something with the Hammer pickup, though. Hammer is very strong on BOE, especially if you protect her well. Once again, the Tyrael that Halcyon's been playing a lot today. He's had pretty good potential on it. They've still got a lot of opportunities. I wouldn't say there's no reason to panic after that first game.
No, absolutely not. You've got to keep a cool head and just know that you've got plenty of time to get the 3 wins in. Certainly after seeming fairly strong, even then, even like the losing that match, you could have said we basically won it. That's probably what they're going to be saying. But we're going into Battlefield of Eternity's draft here now, with first pick going over to PEW.
I say I'm expecting something on the same lines as what we've seen quite a lot today. So the Zarya, the Garrosh, the Zeratul, or the Alarak. But even Xenon could pull out the Hammer as well. Like Ultralisk has a lot of tricks as well that he can play. He's known for his Samuro, for his Medivh, for his Alarak. It's very hard to ban some players out on Xenon. And we start off with the Garrosh ban.
Yeah, and we've seen that Xenon's willing to flex their draft all the way around. They'll put players on whatever needs to be done. If they think, well, I can play an Ubrak and Dino does. And that brought them here to this grand final of the Mythic Championship now that the Zarya Garrosh banned out, even with both of them now banned. Xenon not taking any risks there, but PEW taking a little bit of time with their second ban right now.
I think they'd be discussing whether to ban another tank, but they do decide the Medivh. Obviously, as stated, Ultralisk is pretty good, and even though the main synergy, obviously, you could say is like Medivh Garrosh, for instance, is a great duo in terms of a tank. There are still other possibilities such as ETC or Diablo, even though he's dropped off the meta a little bit. In response, for Denon, a Sylvanas ban makes a lot of sense. Definitely been picked a lot through this entire tournament, really, let alone just this series.
Yeah, she's sort of been an underground hero, I think, in some of the lower leagues, certainly. Obviously, she has a little bit of a very small health pool, and the mobility gives you a little bit of leeway, but to get that extra damage, you really need to be using all your abilities. So here in the sort of Division 1 Mythic Championship, she's really shined and shone through. But we do see that Johanna first picks, strong and stable. Yeah, just going with the easy.
Yeah, it's a very easy pickup. They're not trying to show too much away. Sadly, like the only thing by picking a Johanna means they didn't pick a DPS, and which is why straight away we see the Jimmy Raynor. Exterminator Jimmy pick it up, Objective Race, and the Tyrael as well, which is another fantastic lock-in.
It almost feels like ZENON has just copying Hype PEW. Obviously, you know, they're all different styles, but that Tyrael attack speed buff with the Exterminator Jimmy, it's going to be racing down that Immortal. Hype PEW have got to pick up some race of their own, right?
Yeah, I'm expecting something like, I say, the Vala, the Hanzo. They played Hanzo quite a lot. It'd be a W build, but simply a Grey main as well. But no, they take the Alarak away from Ultralisk, which could be pretty impactful. Swamp Grotta is known for his Alarak gameplay, so this will be interesting to see.
Yeah, and do you think that Alarak into Tyrael's pretty good as a terms of a matchup against the tank?
I think they both can counteract each other. Obviously, a Great Sanct can nullify Alarak completely. You know, I'm not sure whether obviously Deadly Charge will be picked or Counter Strike. You know, both two very impactful ults, but Alarak can definitely beat Tyrael, or if not, focus Tyrael, focus one of the backline and blow them up quickly. But you see the Hammer ban, which is something we talked about. Obviously, Blank's potential to play off lane Hammer, let alone a 4-man Hammer, and then Maiev banned for Ultralisk, I believe, as well.
Yeah, obviously Maiev adding that little bit of extra dive and control for Xenon, but leaving up that Zeratul. Does this sort of lead that Hype PEW might have a not so squishy picks left in their draft?
At the moment, they've got a pretty solid, you know, comp with the Malfury and a Twilight Dream. Alarak could go Counter Strike as well, but I think the Grey main Honor is just a pretty safe as well. Tyrael Grey main is tried and tested, and Honor, I'm going to say, could be an Eye of Horus this game because they don't have really a mage to nano boost.
Yeah, we did see the Eye of Horus earlier. Yeah, I mean it's an interesting heroic, but maybe they will pick it up again. The Blaze Valor as the last two picks. So there's that crucial race that you were talking about.
Yeah, their composition desperately needed some race, and obviously Cuba Valor is fantastic at doing so. Zeratul could be an option for Xenon. Like, Blaze has been taken away again, so I assume that Dainu, you know, is one of Dainu's favorites if he ever goes into the off lane. But Zeratul does seem like a strong choice here.
Yeah, but they go for that Anubarak as a secondary front line. Who are they cocooning, do you think?
I think probably you just try and take away the Malfurion, maybe. If not, try and take the Blaze. Obviously, that will depend on Blaze's level 1, because he could just go the Unstoppable. Both tanks could have a form of Unstoppable. Obviously, Johanna's on her trait. But Tyrael offlane is going to be interesting, because Tyrael, yeah, he doesn't lose the offlane, but he's never going to win the offlane.
No, and against the Blaze, I'm sure it's trying to sort of wave clear against the sort of Blaze is going to be a little bit tricky. But obviously, this is Battlefield of Eternity, and doesn't all matter about those off lanes. Sometimes it's just about those big fights in the middle.
Yeah, and the Grey main and Nubrak Tyrael, if it's all executed really well, and you know the synergy is there, the dive, the curse bullet, or the go for the throw, and then the Sancta follow up, it's going to be very hard to match him. It will be hard.
Absolutely. So we will be going into game 2 of this Mythic Championship of Hype PEW against Xenon. Over to Aviator and Aaron.
Thank you for the introduction again, Transparent, and welcome back everybody to game number 2 here. Hype PEW lost the first series, but it was a very close game. Let's hope we're in for a close game again as we introduce the teams. In the blue side for Hype PEW, we have Malfurion by MXD, Valor by Riku, Blaze by Blank, Alarak by Swampgroot, and Johanna played by Halcyon.
And on the right-hand side, the red team, we have Team Xenon. We have X-Ray on Diana, Chelvin playing Greymane, Dino on Anubrak, Death Knight playing Tyrael, and Ultrarisk on Jimmy Rayner.
Erin,
Yes.
race comp for the red team. That's some scary race coming out here for the red team. You've got
Yes.
Greymane, you've got Rayner, you've got Exterminator Rayner as well. Not just Jimmy Laner, but Jimmy Exterminator. So
Yeah, and also after 7 with the boost from Tyrael, if the Tyrael doesn't go AA build. I don't think he's going AA build because he didn't take the AA.
the green. That's the green one, right? On one?
Yes, the green one.
Yeah. Do you know what? That does a surprising amount of damage. Every time someone picks it in my game, I'm so surprised by just like how much damage it puts out against you.
Oh, yes. And then you take Judgment and you just 1v1 a Vala in seconds. Oh.
Yeah,
good.
no, we don't do that to my Valor. Anyway, we see Valor going into the Q build. Speaking of Valor, and again, Malfurion going for that rejuvenation.
Yes,
I
very
think so.
interesting.
So it does synchronize well with the 13. Also see an engage here coming out, stun landing onto Riku, and the burrow charge coming out here, and Riku living with 100 HP there. So no first blood yet for both teams.
Dino is playing the Anubrak, Death Knight is playing Tyrael, playing in the offlane, but still both main tank heroes basically. So it's a very interesting rotational thing going on. We have 2 people on top, 3 people on bottom contesting the camp here. Sorry, 4 for the blue team on bot lane. So the red team is unable to contest it, and vice versa is happening on the top lane, where Chalvin is taking the camp and is going to be able to push the top lane.
Yeah, responded very well here by the top lane, but we do, interestingly now, we don't see Unstoppable from Blaze, we see Adrenaline Stim Pack, activate to gain 100% attack speed. So Blank really opting for like the aggressive plays. You saw it on his solo lane hammer earlier, which is very niche. Now into a Dahaka or something like that, solo lane hammer works very well, because you just pressure and pressure and pressure, but Dahaka can do nothing. But
it's also the movement speed with it that's really important. The attack speed doesn't do a whole lot as much as the movement speed. It's
exactly.
there for running away or there for engaging. So it's a very good talent to pick regardless. We do see the top lane being pushed in there by Tyrael and Greymane. The camp getting a little bit of value on the towers already really early.
Yeah, but we do see Swamp rotating up just to make sure they don't get too much value. Hard camp being started for the red team and response by the blue team as well. We see Valor and Malf on it. Again, both teams, you know, they know exactly what they're doing, right? Both teams are going to be timing their camps perfectly. Although that is a little bit of an early cap for the red team.
In the last match we casted on BOE, we had Ultralisk playing Alarak and he was going for the E build. We now have Swamp playing it, and instead he went for the W build, which is the old build. We see Dino being comboed here, but combo just doesn't connect fully, and he gets away with 300 HP.
Yeah, Dino living by the skin of his teeth there. Anna trying to heal him up here as we see Shelvin go back in here onto Swamkruta. Swamkruta getting the E-healer, but it's not enough. And Swamkruta goes down. That's first blood over to the red team. The red team want more, they're not done yet, as the Unubrak goes back in, burrow charge onto Riku, and the stun landing on top of it. Riku living with 30 health there. And he lives.
He does live. This is a free clear for the bot lane for the red team, and also a free race for the red team as well, as Blaze is clearing the top lane.
You say free clear, but the blue team didn't get the memo as they go back in here. Johanna popping the Unstoppable, trying to do some damage, but I think this is a bit, may have overstayed his welcome here, as he doesn't have that Iron Skin and gets taken down.
Johanna made mistakes.
Mistakes were made and memories made.
Oof. Minor BM there from Shelvin with the minor B step. But the red team continues to shred the Immortal. Dino trying to be a bit of a harassment so that they don't get too much shield taken down here. But the objective does go over to the red team.
Yeah, and that's an early Immortal with a pretty chunky shield as well.
It is going to be a chunky one, but it is, you know, it is a very early one. Dino does get combo. There's a route there to follow up, but he is able to burrow himself out. Note, Dino is not able to burrow himself out while he is rooted, so he does have to be careful. He has to try and dodge the route with the stop.
Yeah, now this is where the wave clear from the side of the blue team is solely dependent on that Valor. Obviously, they've got that Alarak to combo, but you can't combo into the enemy's Immortal. So Valor needs to rely on that Q build, and if you look at Dino's positioning, just in front, just trying to look for something here, as you see Malf with the self route, just to try and stop and peel for himself.
X-Ray following up with that sleep and the anti-heal, just perfect follow-up there by the healer on the tank engage. Very well played. We see Jimmy Rayner rotating. This might be a very, very sticky situation for Blank.
Yeah, Blaze does pop that Adrenaline Stim Pack, trying to walk away here. Death Knight goes back in, but Blank should be able to walk away with his life.
The red team is going to be committing to the top camp as there's 3 heroes up top and only 2 blue. Swamp possibly rotating bot, not too sure. They're looking maybe for an engage here on the X-ray as we see a couple of pings.
Yeah, the thing is with Johanna, right, is that you don't really have an engage pre-10, which is a little bit frustrating, because you might see an engage, but you can't really do anything unless you've got that blessed shield available to you. And as you say, we see the top camp taken for the red team, and they're just going to heavily rotate down, and this is a big commitment now. They may look for a flank, as Nubrak spawns Beetles here, dives in for that Malfurion, Sleep comes out, Anti-Nade comes out as well, and Malfurion lives? No, goes down.
That was a very nice attempt there, but what was happening was Johanna was focused on trying to punish X-Ray being out of position, but it was just Johanna against Anna, and in the end, X-Ray wasn't able to get away. So I think Johanna should have focused a little bit there to save the backline, but I think Johanna's in a bit of trouble here if she doesn't pop her D really soon.
Yeah, the D's there. Alarak trying to zone them out as well, but just look at that follow-up damage by the red team here. As soon as Johanna's Iron Skin went down, they just deleted her.
It is not a good spot to be at Johanna against two very toxic heroes against tanks, Raynor and Jimmy, with that attack speed that I told you about with Tyrael. Oof, this Johanna's just not going to have a nice time.
Yeah, and the thing is about Nubrak, right, is you think you're safe hugging your fort, and Nubrak just says, you know what? You're not safe there. I'm going to get you. And he dives in, spawns beetles, and they tank the tower shots, and that's how the team gets the kills. We see level 10 already, 4 kills to 0. This game is so different to game number 1. Blaze's charge interrupted there as Nubrak gets the stun out.
Do you see the blue team opting for the camp? They do not have 10. They are in no position to engage, and they must give this objective over to the red team. Very smart decision by them.
This is a tricky spot to be in, right? Because you kind of want level 10 now for the half-time. You're close, but no cigar at this moment in time. You just want that trickle XP, one more wave top perhaps by the Alarak clearing that wave, but you want to defend. The Nano Boost comes out here onto the Raynor. The Raynor's just chunking away onto this Immortal. This is going to be a full health Immortal. Full shield Immortal rather, but the blue team. 10s are in now. Quick control lock your ultimates, and can you get some kills?
Oh, big that shield there on Shelvin, and a combo by Alarak, and he absolutely blows up, but the huge sank to send the Greymane as he gets away. Blaze is just not done. He's still trying to get Greymane in. Anna gets pulled back. Bunker is out of place. Blank is in such a good position to possibly re-engage, but the Bunker is kind of body blocking him a little bit. Anyways, that was a really, really good engage and a really, really good counter engage by both teams. Very well played there, and everyone's
sanctification. Oh,
I know that sank was pog. Very
absolutely clutch by Death Knight there on that Tyrael, making sure that his team lives. And if you look at the health bars of the red team, they're all full. They still have that well top. They all tap, they all get healed up by Anna, and they're full, and they're pushing down with this Immortal. X-Ray, they're being caught out here, and X-Ray getting deleted. And Greymane goes in, nom 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 nom, and secures the kill as well. And Dino falling low and gets killed. As Chelvin still trying to go back in, but doesn't get it.
X-Ray dies and the red team decides that we're all in this together, and so decides to join them in the death. This is a free defense now for the blue team. They're going to be able to defend this. It's not even going to get a wall, and possibly get a few camps and get a bit more advantage on the map again.
Yeah, but the blue team, they're not out of this. You can bet on it, because there is still a chance for them to come back here. They're 2 forts down, but they're still all to play for. They're pretty much even experience, 3 kills to 5. That catch-up experience when you're down does a lot.
Alrighty, so what are we going to see? We've seen the red team rotating top, possibly to contest this camp. The blue team could force an engage. Instead, they're opting clearing the bot lane and pushing the bot fort. They want some blue on this map, so they're going to get this fort. The objective would then go top if they do get it. However, they have to defend the keep. This is the time to hearth back right now.
Yeah, as Deathlight and Nubrak, they immediately know this. And obviously, Nubrak with those beetles. He did go beetles at 7, by the way, which I question. I'm not overly convinced by that, but I just noticed there's a big blast shield coming out here. The punish as well from Sylvanas Johanna. As you see the engage, the counter engage, Blank trying to get back in. Nanoboost coming out. The sanctification is big, and the Bunker coming out trying to save his team as well. But the red team looks so healthy, and the blue team falling low. And Chelvin goes in and gets that ultimate onto the Blaze.
Blaze gets absolutely shredded. That was another huge sanctification, but the red team is not done. They want more on that list. Johanna shield is going to pop off. They might go re-engage. Spamp in a bit of a trouble, but he pulls himself away with his W. Death Knight is a little bit low, so they do have to be careful that the team doesn't turn around here.
Yeah, so Nubrak goes back in, and we see the sleep, and that's what we talked about earlier. In Storm League, someone would have opened them up, but in Coordinated, that's not going to happen. The sleep lands, they wait for their abilities, and they go in and secure that kill. Again, Halcyon, look at that sleep, look at the damage coming out on top of it, and Halcyon deleted as Raynor just shredding away here. The blue team, the chain inting at the moment here, as Doppel comes out from Slamcross, trying to stay alive here, walks into his tower range, the E-heal, but it's not enough as the Anna grenade kills the Swam. Oh,
Death
but the
by
roots
Anna, but
on the stun.
completely shredded there. Oh, he was in a really bad spot. He was actually was just unable to heal him up. Sleep just missed bank, but it's okay. The red team gets away. They traded a kill here. It's very good for the blue team. It looked so bad for them, but getting that kill, that one kill, can bring them back because now they're all back up and they can take a 5v4.
Yeah, they need to go soon though, because this Immortal is just going to be shredded away by that Greymane.
Dino's in a bit of a bad spot. He does pop his unstoppable right before the root connects. This is what I was talking about. You cannot let the root connect. Otherwise, he will not be able to go out to safety.
But we mentioned something in our previous cast, Aaron. On BOE as well, deja vu for this moment in time, right? But we said, Alarak, without sadism, doesn't matter if you go E-build with sadism, but with this build, it really does matter to you. And again, popping the unstoppable there, trying to dodge it, Bless Shield's coming out on top of it, Death Knight pops the Sanctification, and it's big, and
oh my goodness. Malfurion is just waiting. He's in that cocoon. He just knows that death sentence is coming for him. Calican is next on the list to get CC bursted down. He does have his D to buy enough time maybe to save him, but I don't think so. Greymane is just not done with him, and Reyna right to him. Death. Riku's unable to do anything with Vala at the moment, and Blank, they must back off and give this keep.
yeah, someone provoked the red team here. They're angry. They look hungry here as Greymane keeps going in, gets that nom 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 with that ultimate, and keeps killing the blue team. But it's 12 kills to 4. This Immortal half-time as Reyna went over just to secure it. But the Immortal, there's still a chance here for the blue team to potentially defend this. They are facing into talent 16 though. They're a talent tier down. Are they YOLOing this though and just saying, you know what, we're this far behind, they're already at our keep, they've already one keep down, let's YOLO and let's go in. And it looks to be that way.
They're playing a bit defensive, but if they play way too defensively, this is going to go to the blue team, so they do need to step up. Huge sleep on the Alaric there, and Nubarak goes engaged there. So much damage going on to the Alaric, and he gets shredded. The bunker was just not enough to save them. X-Ray managed to get away safely, but Vala does not. Oof, oof.
Yeah, and that's just 1, 2, 3, 4 go down.
I wasn't able to keep up with all the deaths. They happened so fast.
4
Sorry,
go down for Hype PEW, and ZENON look to take this second map in decisive fashion in comparison to game number 1.
Very true. This is the red team completely dominated, especially after 7. Like I said, that Tyrael E on the Raymane is just huge.
Yeah, Sanctification just to make sure the core goes down, and that's they can ZENON take the lead 2-0 in this best of 5 series.
Another huge boss call here from ZENON, proving that, you know, being ahead and then just taking out 4 heroes just means you can walk to boss. Wow, ZENON go up 2-0 in this grand final best of 5 series. Galaxy, what have we witnessed already?
Oh, it's been a fantastic series, let's put it that way. I mean, once again, Tyrael. Like, first game, Tyrael had some excellent plays for Hype PEW, and then ZENON returned the favour. Some of those Sanks, especially the one that saved Greymane with that full engage in the early game, incredible. Like, Tyrael is just such a playmaking hero that can just win a game when he needs to, you know.
Absolutely. It just seemed like the Sanct would be there for their team, and they'd pop a cocoon on the mouth, and then the rest of HypePP would just stand around, looking around, sort of thinking, well, are we going to get any heals? Oh, no, we can't. We can't damage the enemy team. I guess we'll die. And they did. You know, it was phenomenal. ZENON really proving that, you know, they were here to maybe take this Mythic Championship final.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one of the main things they had was no hesitation. As you said, Malfurion was always getting cocooned, so therefore Trank was especially nullified when he cast it. Tyrael Sanct, Greymane dived, and Jimmy just does what Jimmy does, which is just point and click, you know. And no, Hype PEW struggled that game. Valo, you know, even though she got a buff, was it 2 patches ago, I think it was, you know, when she got the extra health, she still can be blown up fairly quickly. And as the casters said, a new Brat can dive forts and keeps, and it doesn't matter because he spawns beetles.
Yeah, with that level 7 beetle talent of providing a little extra healing for Anubrak as well, which is obviously discussed in the Twitch chat here. We see Death Knight, you know, doing a fantastic job on that Tyrael. It's been a pleasure watching them all so far. You are absolutely right. The execution has been flawless. And I mean, if you want to prove yourself as well as a hero, you can sign up to our season 12 for Heroes Lounge. If you think you can take on either Xenon or PEW next season and maybe get in Division 1, yeah, sign up on our website. Do exclamation mark sign-ups in the chat and you'll get a link provided to go over to there. They are indeed open right now. We're just waiting to see what Xenon want to pick for map pick, as PEW once again have gone for this first pick. We're down to the small pool of Curse Hollow, Dragonshire, Sky Temple, and Garden of Terror. Now, we spoke about Garden of Terror a bit earlier, didn't we, Galaxy?
Garden Terror is one of those maps. I know Wit, who plays obviously with X-Ray and Danu, they enjoy their Garden of Terror, especially in the Div S and etc. So Garden of Terror could be a possibility. Personally, I'm not a fan of the map at all, but I can imagine Cursed Hollow or Garden probably the favourites. I wouldn't imagine Dragonshire and Sky Temple heavy macro maps, and as we've just seen on Battlefield of Eternity, you want to take the team fight. You want the team fights.
Yeah, I mean they've gone for Sky.
They've gone for Sky. Okay.
Yeah, it's a map that, you know, obviously lends itself to if you don't make any mistakes and you get all those shrines, you sort of just snowball and win all the structures. So, you know, obviously maybe they're feeling that they've got the momentum, Xenon, and they just want to take that to Sky Temple, a map known for its momentum, and take this whole Mythic Championship right now.
Yeah, exactly. And as discussed in the last game, Sky Temple, you know, one of those maps where you can get away with a bit of cheese. You know, we've seen Juice Pirates. Ultralis can play a Samuro really well, so Samuro Abathur becomes a possibility. No, it's gonna be a good third game, and you know, Xenon are playing really well, but I hope PEW win this next game, so at least we can have a little bit of a grand final. But I think that's for more our benefits and the viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you are enjoying this cast here today on our Mythic Championship, please feel free to go support us on our Patreon. The link is just popped up in chat just now. It recently updated the tiers there, so you can maybe donate, get yourself a little bit of coaching if you're a lower down team, or a cast from either myself or maybe Aviator Aaron, whoever signs up, or someone who you want to pick. It's all good stuff. So go check out our Patreon page over there in the chat. Sky Temple, you were talking about the possibility of cheese. The return of Zul maybe coming here as well?
I think when we look at this map, you know, the Zul, Deathwing is a bit priority because of the temples and structures, so he kind of falls off a little bit. So I'm looking at Zul, I'm looking at Samuro, obviously Sylvanas again, you know, picked or banned in basically every game today. And is very good for macro and rotations. And then there obviously is things like Greymane and Rhaegar. There's quite a few heroes that could have a higher priority this game.
Yeah, they. I mean, the Anubarak as well. Once again, being able to block towers. There's always been sort of a little bit of a thing here on Sky Temple. Maybe with the Greymane rushing down structures. Do you think that might pop up?
Very possibly. Tyrael. You know, if Tyrael makes it through the ban phase, which is very possible, you know, Tyrael Greymane could do so much damage. But as we've said, first ban is the Samuro, which is what we've had a quick discussion about. You know, they don't want the cheese, and Zul is quick to follow. Nobody wants to deal with the possibility of cheese on this map. No,
it's so well known for that Juice Pirate strategy that we saw a lot in the Epic Cup last week, but here on the Mythics, it might not pop up as much. PEW taking a little bit of time with the second ban. Obviously, there's so many picks that you want to ban out now. Rushing through your head thinking, who are we going to target ban? What do we want? Obviously, that Tyrael picked away from them last time, but they settled on the Johanna, but it just didn't look as impactful as their Tyrael Galaxy.
No, it didn't, and I could actually see them first picking up a Tyrael if they want to play that a bit more of aggressive comp, because obviously Tyrael, well, I was going to say allowed the Butcher, but there we go. No cheese. No cheese at all this game.
Yeah, no chance of a Butcher this game. It's a bit of a shame. I was kind of hoping for it, but maybe Murky. I mean, Murky was once played in professional play on Sky Temple.
Maybe Murky, yeah. Maybe. There's quite a bit. Abatha's still open as well, but we take the Greymane. Greymane is a good first pick. It warrants, obviously the Tyrael, because if Zenon now go Tyrael Abatha, they're going to need a carry of some sorts, which obviously Greymane no longer can have. Other than that, maybe Sylvanas. Calvin's been playing Sylvanas. Maybe they just want to grab a support like Rhaegar or Malfurion, get a more meta support. But you see the Tyrael and you see the Jimmy again.
Yeah, that dynamic duo of boosting the attack speed of Reyna just to shred down anything that's vaguely in Jimmy's way right now. I mean, it's just the pressure that you can put on structures, ending the game as well with the sanctification or just the attack speed. And Zenon have shown that they can just be cutthroat with those core calls. But we response of the Anubrak and Sylvanas. I was wondering about this because do you think that cocoon can be used on Tyrael?
I think exactly right. If we look at their composition now, they've got the Wailing Arrow or the possibility of a mind control. I'll throw it out there, but it's not going to happen. The Wailing Arrow to stop the Sanct, the Cocoon to obviously stop the Sanct. If they ban a hero now like Rhaegar and get rid of a Cleanse and just force them on to maybe something like a Malfurion or a Deckard again, where they've got no Cleanse, and they can draft a more heavy CC composition and try to chain CC a target, even Tyrael.
Yeah, I mean, we did see that the weakness that Malfurion has into these sort of big stun chains, but we see a Zarya ban out instead. Obviously, as you were saying earlier, that cheese and Zarya and Garrosh both had made it through until this point. I mean, you probably wouldn't have run Tyrael in the off lane, but yeah, just wanting that lack of Zarya right now.
And exactly why they banned Lucio as well on Zenon's side. You don't want a Lucio, Sylvanas, Greymane rotating from lane to lane, because it'll just be another form of cheese and be a bit frustrating. But the Medivh pickup finally, we see Medivh for Ultralisk most likely, which is going to be good to see.
Is that going to be shutting down some of these big pushes, if with a big ley line, or is it just for the boss control as well?
Obviously a little bit for the boss control. Ley line is always a fantastic ult for that, but I think Zenon have assumed that Hype PEW want to go for a Curse Bullet, a Nubrak CC, blow up composition, and obviously Medivh is one of the best heroes to counteract that. And with the the Stukov silence and roots as well, even more so they picked Medivh. I think Medivh is a really good pickup into their composition.
Yeah, it might be that little extra bit that just pips them over here at the final of the Mythic Championships. They're thinking on this last pick. Obviously, it's got to be their offlaner, most likely. We've seen Samuro ban out. Here we go. It's Arthas.
I think that's pretty good because obviously Arthas can get the movement speed from Tyrael off the level 7 and obviously being portaled in. Arthas's biggest problem is an engage, and they've got two ways to give Arthas the movement speed or the portal to give him that engage. But both comps look very strong. Hype PewPew's comp definitely makes a lot more sense. Greymane wave clear, Sylvanas wave clear, Sonya wave clear, Heavy wave clear. I predict they'll do the Bruiser camp early and try and pressure the top lane before the first objective.
Yeah, absolutely. And if in the chat, this is obviously match point here for Zenon. If you think Zenon are going to take it 3-0, put a bet, bet B in the chat. Maybe you think Hype PewPew can come back right now and put a bet A in the chat and see what will happen. Obviously, Sky Temple, it's always an exciting map here. Nail biting for sure. I definitely want to see if Hype PewPew can come back. It would be lovely to see more games this series. But we'll hand over now to our casters, Aaron and Avian.
Game number 3, everybody. Hype PewPew need to win this to keep their chances of winning the grand final alive. Can they do it? Let's find out as we introduce the teams. On the left, in the blue, we have Svampgrut on Greymane, Stukov by MXD, Anubrak by Halcyon, Sonya played by Blank, and Riku on that Sylvanas.
On the right-hand side, we have the red team. We have Team Zenon. We have Death Knight playing Tyrael, Chelvan on Arthas, Ultralisk on Medivh, Dino playing Jimmy Rayner, and X-Ray on Rhaegar.
So, Medivh pick on Sky Temple. What do we think?
Mastery, though.
Yeah, the level 1 that most people pick. Obviously, that Medivh game wasn't like the level 1 wasn't the reason, right? But we see automatically Sylvanas trying to go for this bottom tower here. See some aggression. Obviously, they do have that grey main just a chunk away, and a Nubrak as well. Portal coming out here, trying to engage. Immediately, a stick of silence on top of it, though. Protected comes out, just saving that grey main damage. Stunlock comes out, though, and immediately the Reyna gets deleted. That's first blood going over to Hype Pew Pew.
The Galaxy and Trans were talking about cheese on this map, and Sylvanas going bot lane. This is a pretty common cheese, which I thought the red team would have been prepared for a little bit, but they weren't unable. X-Ray could not rotate to heal Rayner just in time. However, it was just one kill. It is okay. It happens. They're going to reset and they're going to come back to this. The blue team is in a bit of a strong position because they're taking camps early, and you could see invades, but the red team instead opts for the booster camp first. This is a really smart play.
Yeah, obviously they got Rhaegar and Reyna, and again it's that Jimmy Exterminator, so he can take that camp. Interestingly though, you mentioned that about cheese. I'm very glad we got a Sylvanas and not a Morales. Last week, I spent the weekend casting Juice Pirates. I feel like in 2 maps in a row, pretty much. That's almost what it was. So I'm very glad we don't have a Morales pickup here.
The red team are possibly going to be able to push in with this red camp top. However, the blue team do also get their camp. Why is this so important to get early? If you get the wall on the top fort and then the objective in the top lane here, that means you get a fort in the first 4 minutes of the game, which is a really great advantage. However, I don't think the red team are going to be able to do this. However, the blue team has Sylvanas now pushing with the camp. This is a very good spot for the blue team.
Yeah, it's a heavy commitment top lane as well. They're investing a lot into this. They need to make sure that they secure this front wall. And as you say, after they take this, when the objective spawns at 2.5 minutes, if they secure the top temple, it will take down that top fort. And we see it engage even onto the Arthurs here. Arthurs fall down to low health here. Protector comes out. Portal coming out, but Shelvin goes down. And they're not done here. Rayman goes in, trying to get the kill onto Dino, onto that Reyna, but Reyna just walks away.
Allison is there for a big flank, tries to burn into Dino and gets a stun. Ultralisk is also in a bad spot. He needs to protect his stacks, but they all portal themselves out to safety. And speaking about the fort, they don't even need the objective to get the top fort.
No, they say screw the temple, we'll just take the fort now. And they absolutely capitalize on their small advantage there and take it. And that's a fort down in less than 3 minutes on Sky Temple.
Yes, the bot camp did get a bit of value as it got 1 tower, but Riku's just down there cleaning it up now. Anubrak and Mix standing on the point, making sure Death Knight doesn't get a free channel, while Jimmy Rayner is getting the top objective.
Yeah, I mean, you see, this is the thing, right? You just want a commitment. If you're ahead in structures already in Sky Temple, this is where you can avoid team fights, but they say, ignore that, we're going in. Anubrak gets the burrow charge onto Kelvin's Arthas. Greymane though, getting that slow, and Sonya as well. The silence from Stukov coming out there, protected from Medivh, just saving Kelvin. And then, Greymane jumping on Ultras, but getting the portal to safety. This is the point. If you're ahead on Sky Temple, you never need to fight. You can just avoid, unless you've got a talent here, right? Like, if you've got a talent advantage, there's no point playing that passive. But if you're even in talents, you're ahead in structures, do not fight on Sky Temple. That's the only way your opponents can come back into the game. Just avoid team fights, play the map, and win the game. Easy clap.
Easy clap. The top objective does go over to the blue team just simply because they have the talent advantage and the red team did not contest it. We do see Sylvanas in bot lane with Svamp. Could they possibly push this bot fort? They decide not to. The red team is posturing around, waiting for some portals. With Portal Mastery, there can be a playmaking potential for some really interesting portals here. Death Knight anchoring, spotting that they're going to be taking the camp. Nubrak doing the same and anchoring for his own team. Very good plays by all the tanks here.
Yeah, but the blue team, they're already a level ahead. Or, yeah, just under a level ahead here. At 4 minutes 40 into the game. You see the blue team, red team trying to engage here, but the blue team just waiting for it. That Anubrax is holding that queue, waiting for that Medivh portal to come out, and the Stukov silence on top of it. It's the one thing about portal control. People pick Malf into portals, but Stukov works just as well. If you land that silence, you can easily counter that portal engage.
Red team clears the camps pretty easily, but the bot wall is gone. X-Ray is going to start the camp as Rhaegar. I think think Arthas is having a bit of trouble double soaking against Sonya, because Sonya really does a much better job than Arthas does.
Yeah, Sonya just spinning to winning, taking the lane, walking bot mid, taking the lane. And meanwhile, the blue team are going to be level 10 shortly. I wonder if we're going to try and see a sneaky boss force. Sonya's rotating down. They are about to take their hard camp as well, so it's just about to spawn. Both teams are doing this as well, so great awareness again by both teams on their camps. This is what you'd expect from Division 1 in the Mythic Cup Grand Final type of players. You want this high level of play.
Sonya might be in a bit of a scary position. Yes, no, the new Bracken's there just to make sure that she's safe. Death Knight anchoring in the bush, gets spotted. Obviously, we'll be able to get away as well. Ooh, unless they're forcing it on Blank. Blank is going to pop his Berserker, trying to get away, spinning to winning it. He gets out cocooned. Arthas is going to get away as well with the movement speed from Tyrael.
Now, this is actually a scary position for the blue team because the red team are just about to hit 10.
Berserker has been popped as well, bear that in
Yeah,
mind.
Cocoon's been used, and Wrath has been used by Sonya. And Sonya, top lane though, is attempting to be ganked, spinning to winning, trying to get away here. Medivh has that portal available. Portal's back in. Sonya says, "Do you know what? I'm going to die. I'm just going to spin on the point, create as much space as possible." And look how much healing she's getting, dodging the root as well. Spinning again as a new brat comes back in. Bloodlust being popped though, and Sanctification. On top, Sonya still living, Sukov shoving away. Sonya still alive, by the way. Can I point that out? But Blank eventually falls down. But meanwhile, Sylvanas took the whole bot temple, by the way.
Oh, yes. That is a
The
big...
3 forts up, 7 minutes in. Sky Temple. 2 kills to 1, level 12 to 10.
The red team committed way too much there and to attempt to kill that Sonya, but she bought so much time for the blue team that Sylvanas and Grayman were able to get the objective so easily. That was just very impressive play there by the Sonya. What she was doing was like, oh, the spear on the wall to just buy time. Just little things that Blank did there was very well played in my opinion.
Yeah, the microplay of Blank's hero was really, really good. The blue team thought he was going to die. They accepted the fact that he was going to die. But it was just about creating space, and he created so much space that they took the whole temple. But they do have Bloodlust available, so we might see some cheeky boss fights. We do see Portal coming out here as they are trying to invade on their siege camp just before 13, and the blue team doing the right thing, giving it. Why force this over 13? But boss is being started by the red team.
Sonya is in the top lane. She is really far. She does need to get over here. Leyline is up from... Could be used for a playmaking player, but I don't know if the blue team is going to be able to...
You have to cocoon the Medivh straight away here. Cocoon the Tyrael though. Medivh, Leyline comes out here. No one's touched on the point for the blue team. And the boss is taken. The Sonya goes in with that Wrath of Berserker. Damage on top. Swamp falls really low on that Greymane. Massive shot comes out from Stukov. Halcyon falling extremely low on Nubrak and gets taken down. And so does Sylvanas, but they do take down Rhaegar. Bloodlust was popped just before he dies, and they do take down Sylvanas. Sonya's
doing that thing again. Sonya doing that thing that she does, where she spins.
It worked. It worked once. I don't think it's going to work every team fight. Sonya gets taken out by the blue team. Rhaegar manages to pop R just before he dies there. That was so clutch in that team fight. If he doesn't press R just before he dies, I think they may end up losing that fight. Obviously, the boss will still be taken.
Very perfect as well, by the way. That ley line landed on every single person, and nobody was able to get onto the point. Blue team, they need to split up if they want to get the boss like that next time, and I'm sure they'll do it from now on. Or cocoon, maybe cocooning Medivh is the shout as well. If
yeah, they cocooned the Tyrael, but I think pre-13 with no holy ground, I think there's no point cocooning the Tyrael. They only have the sanctification. I think the ley line is far more important to prevent on that boss steal.
We do see an engage here by the blue team. They're going to try and force something here a little bit. D flying over, making sure everyone is safe. He is on 36 stacks. He cannot afford to die and lose those 36 stacks.
And this is where the blue team are giving them the fight. They can just go down to bot temple, trade temples, and they're so far ahead. This is the pet peeve of Sky Temple right now. That teams are highlighting for us.
But the red team still has their opportunity to contest bot lane now. The blue team didn't take too much advantage of it. And they might give it. Great engaged route there on the Sonya. Possible Medivh portal, but they decide to opt out and not fight. Instead, the blue team is going to go up the lane, take their camp, while the red team get objective. This could be a keep for the blue team here on top lane when they push with the camp. It's pretty smart.
Yeah, I don't mind this call. If they take the camp, Sylvanas trade as well, on top of this wall that's already taken damage. This could be a good call. We do see the red team already hearthing back. Rhaegar now a little bit late to the party, but is hearthing as well. Ralph as a Berserker being popped here. Sylvanas Straight coming out onto that front wall. Sylvanas Straight is running out now, so they need to retreat. And they do. But this is the fight that the red team want. They want to fight. They need to fight at this point. They're so far behind in structures. They just want to force it. And it comes out. Portal comes out here. The slow. The root just missing there on blank. Wailing Arrow coming out just to try and force that disengage.
Yes, and the bot objective is still up. The blue team wasn't able to get the keep, but they did get the wall, which was really good for them anyway, regardless. However, the teams are going to play for top for the bottom objective. Raynor is still quite far away from his team. Sonya's taking the camp. There's still a 4v4 here.
Yeah, but the red team are just going to take this now, and they're pretty much even in structures again. Like, you were 3 forts up in 7 minutes, and suddenly, 11 minutes into the game, you're even in structures.
Playing this map smart is the way to go. It's a very difficult map to play from a shot calling perspective, but both teams are playing it very well. I'm very impressed by both teams. We do see Tyrael in a bush, possibly looking at Swamp here. Blank, maybe Riku as well, not showing, pops out a little bit, but they decide to back out. Raynor's committed to clear in the top lane as the blue team have 16 and are in advantageous position right now.
Yeah, exactly. As you called it, 16 is in for the blue team. The bot keep wall is gone. Top keep wall is gone. Again, heavily favoring the blue team in that structure damage. Next temple phase, I think, is a single temple. Oh no, it might be a double actually, because the last phase was single. So, in theory, the next phase is going to be a double temple. There's a Nubrak burrows in here onto that Reyna. That's done, but the portal coming out from Medivh just to make sure that Reyna lives. They do not want any unwanted deaths here. Easy camp going to be taken away. Boss up in 1 minute for the map.
That boss is not going to be an issue. Obviously, in 1 minute, the red team will obviously have 16, so they will be able to take a fight if they need to. Medivh still on those 36 stacks. He cannot afford to die. He needs 4 more. 4 more stacks to go.
4 more stacks to go.
Committing here in the bot lane with the siege camp. Riku going to pop it straight onto the fort. Oh my goodness, Kund, Rhaegar, big ley line.
4-man ley line in the back line though. A Bloodlust being popped here by Rhaegar. Wailing Arrow comes out, trying to disengage here. Sonya goes back in though, doesn't get the memo. Presses Wrath of Berserker, Sanctification comes out here. Bloodlust is now wavered. Can they do anything here? Nubrak goes in, the root from Arthur's here, and Stukov falls down, but Tyrael falls down as well. But is going to get that trait value onto Halcyon. Halcyon pops his W and lives, but X-Ray jumps in, bites him, and says, no, you're not getting out of it this time. But Sylvanas against that Arthas, and Arthas falls down, but so does Greymane, but Medivh completes his stacks in the meantime, and does get up to that 40. Blank falls as well. Meanwhile, I said boss is up, but they're only 3. Can they do the boss? They want the boss, they're going for the boss.
They can do the boss. Meanwhile, the top camp is going to be pushing. That could be a keep trade here if they don't defend. However, now that I say that, Tyrael is back and he's going to be able to defend and keep from dying. This 3 stack here are definitely going to be able to take boss. What are they going to do? Are they going to push with boss? Are they going to get objectives? They're going to have to decide from a macro perspective what they're going to do.
Yeah, blue team need to be level-headed right now, because the red team, they're going to play for double temple here. That's what you want to play right now. Double temple with the boss pushing, because you're going to take... Temple's going to be pushing mid, Temple's going to be pushing top. You're just going to take that siege damage for free. And you're going to take down the walls if you secure those both temples. They're ignoring the boss, and they're going to go for mid temple, it seems like.
They're ignoring boss and going mid. Very interesting. Tyrael has gone off the objective of top lane. Rhaegar going back to tap. And we might see a fight here while Sonya's bot lane and Savant is rotating mid. I'm not sure what they're going to fight here. They're going to commit. Blue team is deciding to back off and instead get the camp.
Yeah, but suddenly we're going to find the blue team even in structures with the red team. Tyrael leaving top, just playing around.
Very disappointed Arthas didn't take Central Booster, by the way.
I mean, if they were level 10 to level 8 or something, I think, yeah, fair enough. But when it was this close, I think, yeah. But the combo, Leyline into Syndragosa, into Bloodlust, oof, that could have been nasty. But the red team...
Tyrael does finish up the objective. He hearts back to get full HP and mana. The red team is in position to defend the bot lane because the camp pushing, and the red team's camp is pushing top. This is just very passive and safe for all teams. The blue team was leading so much early game, and now they've evened out in both XP and structures, with the red team just a slight bit ahead.
Yeah, the red team going to take level 20 first here. But it doesn't look like they can be able to force anything, as level 20 is so close to the blue team. And after they hit this hard camp, it's going to be there just after that wave top as well. And
The
there's no
upgrade of
boss.
Bloodlust, by the way.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think Bloodlust at 20 is sleeper OP. The
It's OP.
range that it gives and the duration, oof.
Okay.
Oh, the red team. They want to force this hard. And the blue team are like, nope, we're fine. We're staying here. We're not even going to step outside our keep. Until that 20 ticks over.
Forcing this now. They're forcing this top keep. It's solo anyway, and there's a good opportunity for them to take a fight here. Unfortunately, they don't have Sindragosa to engage, but they do have Leyline.
Yeah, Leyline can come out. 20 is being popped here. Kelvin taking a bit of damage. Wrath the Berserker being popped. Sonya spinning to winning. Root from Stukov coming out here. The Wailing Arrow on top of it. But the Sanctification is big and Blank taking a lot of damage. Shot from Stukov isn't enough. Bloodlust is popped as well. Leyline comes out. And here's the big engage. But Halcyon going in with the big boy stuns and roots, but gets deleted. Cleanse coming out from Reyna.
Shredded by the Rainer and the Rhaegar. Oh, the A damage with the Bloodlust is just so scary, but they do still back away with that one kill. The lanes are just pushing in madly, and instead the red team opt to playing safe and getting the tempo. This is just great position for the red team because they are guaranteed to get a keep, if not here.
Did you see the duration of that Bloodlust though? It was still there after the ley line. After the Nubrak went in, Bloodlust was still up. Like, the Reyna was huge. That's not a Jimmy Lena right there.
It was not. The blue team, I wonder what they're doing. It looks like they're sniffing out to go backdoor here, possibly. Oh,
I mean,
see
we
a
saw a
possible-
backdoor in game number 1. I'm not hopeful for game number 3, as Dino takes a bit of damage.
Tyrael getting the temple. Like I said, 2 keeps down, and now I'm pretty sure they're going to get a 3rd keep. This is just a great position for the red team, but the blue team are trying to force something. What are they trying to force? Mixed and Riku standing, stepping up. Blank is on the bot lane. I think they're just trying to force some sort of red response.
Yeah, absolutely. The blue team now. So, just want to point this out again, okay? 10 minutes later into the game, fast forward 10 minutes later, and the blue team are now 3 keeps down. This is where the red team don't need to do anything. They wait for the next objective.
Don't do anything. Try telling that to my teammates in Storm League. Anyways.
Fizz, if you're watching. Anyway. But the red but as we say that, the blue team though, doing the right thing. They're trying to force this here. Nubrak burrowing in deep here. They need to do something here. Cocooning on material. Burrow charge going into the Arthas. Arthas pops army. Stukov silence coming out on top of it. The root coming out on top of it. Bloodlust being popped though as X-Ray goes down to 400 health but lives. And the portals saving them. Leyline, big boy Leyline coming out here. And Bloodlust is still active. And Blank. Oh, see you later, Blank.
Goodness, that ley line was so epic with the extended length. It meant that Sonya was going to pop out a ley line so soon, and they were able to shred her. And Nubrak joins the list on the death. That, oh my goodness, Riku is going to do everything he can to get away. Pops his E to get onto the other side, double E to get away. Mix sacrificing himself possibly to save the Sylvanas, because Sylvanas 1v5 at the core.
That's game. That's got to be game. As the portal comes out here, as Dino goes in for that final kill, just to say, do you know what? You're not living this game. So that's going to be Team ZENON with the 3-0 in the grand final of the Mythic Cup.
Very
Erin,
well played. Very
it's been a
clean.
pleasure.
It was. It was a pleasure. It was really fun casting with you.
But there we are, wrapped up nicely. 3-0 ZENON. GG's well played.
And there we have it. The final of the Mythic Championship goes over to ZENON. Well, thank you very much, Aviator and Aaron, for casting. What a series to cast there, you guys.
I mean, absolutely, right? I mean, it was a 3-0 scoreline, but I think game number 1 or game number 3 doesn't really reflect that. Game number 2, possibly short, but game 1 was so back and forth between them that I think we could have definitely seen more games on the scorecard. Aaron, what about you?
Yeah, the first game, I was really excited. I thought it was going to be a very, very close series, but that was a very clean step up by Team Xenon. You know, game 2 and game 3, they just stepped up and they were like, okay, let's make a cleaner game. They had a comp in mind, every single time, and they executed it perfectly. We do see some amazing Sanks by Death Knight. That very well played. So I definitely want to give him props and a small MVP shout out from myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sanctifications were absolutely huge in those team fights. They turned it around. It looked like they were coming in. And even X-Ray, though, okay, Malfurion plays, but the Rhaegar, the Bloodlust, right at that last team fight, managed to escape with 400 health, one sort of attack away. Lives, presses R, gets the ley line from Ultralisk, and that's it. Turns a team fight, and they win the game. So absolutely props and GGs, and well deserved to them.
Yeah, well, thank you guys, both you, Aaron and Aviator, for casting today. It's been a great day so far. Galaxy, what have you got to say about the series in general today?
Oh, I mean, it's been a good series overall. As Aviator said, the second game, was kind of the more dominated by one team, obviously being Xenon. But the first game, a lot of backwards and forths, and the third game, you just need to sit back and take into account how well that hype PEW played the early game. The first 3-4 minutes, we had a quick talk about it. Do the top bruiser camp, push top. They got a fort with just by doing that in the first 2 minutes. Took the second fort with the first objective, and then unfortunately just made a couple of questionable decisions during the mid game, and the free fort lead they once had turned into no fort lead, and it was just exactly even, which is a shame. But they played a really strong early game, and even though they've lost the series, I'm sure there's a lot of things they could take away and just be happy about, because they did show they were a good team.
Yeah, absolutely. They will be hungry for season 12, I'm sure. But I mean, we have to say that obviously, yeah, big GG to Xenon. They'll be getting their own little trophy that they might be able to hopefully show you on stream now. It's a little trophy like this, little Heroes Lounge trophy, but that will say season 11. They are the Mythic Championship season.
So, just to
11
clarify,
champions.
the trophies are made of the highest quality of plastic as well. Just so
Yep.
everyone's aware.
Thank you very much, Aviator. Yep, they are. I mean, I really enjoy my trophy. It's very good. Obviously, yeah, we've got sign-ups for season 12 currently open for now. So if you want to compete for your own trophy in the future, please go over to our sign-up page, which is the links are in the chat right now. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Galaxy. I think HypePew have to feel proud of themselves that they got this far. It's a bit of a shame that they've had to walk away empty-handed, but hopefully they'll be back next season.
Oh, I'm sure they will be. A couple of players on their team. Obviously, they had a sub today too. Being Swamp. But yeah, hopefully we all see them again next season. It would be good to. It would be good to.
Yeah, and we'll go straight over now to the interview room where we have the Team Xenon, who will be, I'm sure, celebrating very shortly. And a big welcome to Team Xenon. Congratulations.
Hello, thank you.
Well played. A nice 3-0 at the end after playing a grueling 4 games almost in a row today. Well done to you guys. How does it feel right now?
Well, we are probably all happy that we won the one, and me and Kelvin at least defended the title, so that's a bonus as well.
Absolutely, but we are not here alone. We are also here with the Lounge Master himself, Mr. Hetman, Cosmic. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks, and thanks for the introduction as well, and huge congratulations to Xenon there. Great to see so many long-term lounge faces coming back and winning the whole thing then, so massive congratulations to you. Also, shout-outs to your name. I used to work on an experiment called Xenon, so some coincidence there, I think not, but no, great to see you guys winning this, and of course, as usual, I think we do need to give a huge shout-out to HypePew, who put up a pretty amazing show there. And I mean, that Sonya in that last game was causing some havoc, I think. But
yeah,
did extremely well there. I mean, the scoreline says 3-0, but I think they put on an amazing show. And I know that it's such a long day for everyone that's involved, and it really makes everybody who's watching it is so much more entertaining when we have matches like that. And really want to give them a huge thanks. But there can only be one winner, and this evening we have apparently some reigning lounge champions, as well as I assume some new ones too. So a huge congratulations to you. For those of you who are not familiar, you have just won yourself some of Heroes Lounge's finest quality plastic in the form of trophies.
Yes.
Of course, that's what everyone is looking forward to. Of course, you just need to give me your names and addresses, and we'll send those over to you as soon as possible. I don't promise that they'll come swiftly, given the climate at the very least, as well as our own slothiness. But no, I wanted to come in here, give a huge congratulations and thanks for playing. I hope to see you guys in seasons to come. And of course, before I go, we need to give another shout out to everyone behind the scenes. I mean, I'm sure the team of Xenon can attest to this, but the number of moderators behind the scenes which go into making this thing possible is huge. The amount of effort and time it takes is enormous. And, it's not just those casters. I mean, we have, Transparent and DNA Galaxy here this evening, but there's many people behind the scenes. And I really love seeing these tournaments work out the way they have. And really all the thanks needs to go to those people for doing it. So I won't take up too much of your time. Just another congratulations to you guys at Xenon. Well done. Give me that information as soon as you can, and I hope to see you guys in the future seasons coming up as well.
Yeah, for
Fantastic. So thanks very much for having me on.
Well, thank you, Cosmic. It has
Who's
been.
Cosmic?
It has been.
My correct name. I like it.
It has been a great series to watch today. Well done to you all, Xenon. I mean, yeah. You've had some amazing strategies come out. Were you ever afraid of the cheese that PEW could have possibly brought to you today?
I mean, we were only afraid of cheese because we were pretty sure we could win the normal games, and so we had to draft a lot around Swamp, the cheese expert. Like, he's known for his Murky, his Arya, his Xul and stuff like that, and Deathwing. So you had to keep in mind a lot of things they can play, right? So that was the Swamp Grotto especially.
Absolutely. It certainly did feel like drafts were slowly descending into, well, what can we pick before the enemy team picks it, with sort of the Tyrell and Nubrak suddenly becoming very contested at the end. Galaxy, did you have any questions you wanted to shout over to these guys?
Not really questions, but obviously Death Knight, needs a promotion after his thanks. He's still got it. But no, honestly, well done, boys. As I say, being part of the team last year, even though it was called X-Ray Winsies every day, and again, analysis and obviously commentate over you a little bit was good. One of the things that you guys have got, and we talked about it during the games, was your diversity in your roles. Obviously, Dinu was switching on to a new bracket points. You all did an excellent job and proved that. You can even make Bloodlust happen, which is really good to see. It's really good to see.
Bloodlust is broken. Bloodlust is broken.
It's gonna be fun having Rhaegar in your Stormly games now.
I can't wait.
Bloodlust a diva. Galaxy note.
Yeah, you certainly showed that, there's certainly a lot to change at the moment, and a lot to watch out for in drafts and heroic picks. Was there an Eye of Horus pick in one of the games today?
Yeah, it was. It was, I think, also the BOE game versus Pep Milady, right? Yeah, where we had the idea behind it was Alrak is deadly charging in with Zeratul in the backline, so I just go a little bit further behind and just Eye of Horus them. Well, this is like where Eye of Horus really shines and can get more value than Nano Boost, but I think like the team fights were pretty. I mean, it didn't really come to the situation where it could be good because we won the team fights, I think, anyway.
Yeah, you absolutely did. And obviously the Nano Reina in game number 2 of the grand finals was also a nice thing to watch. A big well done to you all, guys. If you've got any other words you'd like to say, feel free to say them now. Any shout outs?
Well, shout out also to the Polish boys that always put up like really good games, and like we had to fight them last season as well. And the WQ boys, they're always a little challenge that you have to face. And then also shout out to you guys, the casters, and shout out to everybody who works on this Heroes Launch project, because Heroes Launch is a lot of fun to play. This is like the way HOTS is meant to play, and yeah, pretty thankful for you to make it happen.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much for playing. I mean, yeah, congratulations. The Mythic Championship is yours, and you will be getting those high quality plastic trophies made of the highest quality plastic, I might add. Yeah, at some point in the future. And yeah.
Bye-bye.
And that was Team Xenon. Fantastically done there. They won the Mythic Championship. They took it home. What great stuff from them. Obviously, Heroes Lounge, it doesn't really ever stop. We've obviously come to the end of Season 11 here, but sign-ups for Season 12 are open, and next week, seeding will begin. So if you've got any team changes you want to make, you can make them soon. Obviously, of course, we also have our off-meta tournament, which will be next Sunday, on the 5th of April, which, you know, if you've been watching, it's been some of the off-meta maps. There's Warhead Junction being played, Blackheart's Bay as well. So if you fancy any of that sort of stuff, feel free to tune in next Sunday as well. Galaxy, have you got anything more you would like to say?
I mean, everybody loves a bit of Blackheart's Bay, don't they? You know, every time you go back on that map, it's a bit of nostalgia.
Yeah, it is a great map to play on. It's so weird that it was included in the professional scene for so long.
Yeah, exactly. But no, honestly, Heroes Lounge have like such a good thing going on. It's where I started myself as a player. I think it was about season 4 or 5. I think it first was, but no, I started off in Heroes Lounge as well, Division 2. It's a great place to, if you want the next step, basically, in HOTS. If you're tired of Storm League, which I can imagine, a few people are, just come there. If you can't find a team or you don't have a team, they'll just put you together with other free agents, and sometimes, you gel really well. I've seen a few of the free agents teams do a really good job. But it's a fantastic thing they've got going on here, and all the support they continue to get is great. And I'm happy to have been allowed to come on today.
Well, thank you very much, Galaxy. It's been a pleasure having you today. We've had a great final here for the Mythic Championship. Big congratulations to Xenon, of course. A big thank you to everyone who watched and tuned in. It's always nice to have people watching us and seeing my face slowly get more and more confused throughout the day. If you like to support, there's our Patreon link is in the chat as well. That's obviously, we've recently updated our Patreon tiers. If you want to keep us going, keep our sort of servers running, and maybe get yourself in for a little raffle every so often, feel free to support us on our Patreon. But yeah, it's been quite the day. And also sign up. Obviously, sign-ups for Season 12 are now open. I won't repeat that anymore. We've had a great day. Thank you very much, Galaxy, for joining us. I think we're going to see a couple of our beautiful replays of the season that we've had, this Season 11. Thank you very much.
All by himself, and Death Knight is the only one to fall in this fighting space. Well, we see another engaged Silence Arrow is there on the castles as well, but he gets away another time. So Ultralist, although finding good setups, not resulting in any kill here. No Fawcett is playing with fire as he's now another H with the Entomb on Kalphos in the backline there. They try to jump afterwards, but they basically all alone. We see the mosh pit in return, but it gets interrupted by Ultralisk with the Kerrigan. Now nano boosted, but there's the Cocoon, and they try to turn it around. We see Kerrigan jump afterwards after the KTC, and Death Knight is dropping lower and lower, and actually Kerrigan is the first to fall. When we see the trade value against Kalphos, no, it barely misses, so Kalphos survives again. On to the fort, and Zartor's in a lot of trouble as we see Kerrigan and they try to burst it down. Wailing Arrow this time on point to secure the kill, but they try to switch for Kalphos, but instead they get none of them. ETC with the mosh pit, but they actually falls for it, but so does the Rhaegar on the other side. But We see Kalthas falling to the Leoric damage there in the end, and now Dino on the run with the Leoric, trying to block himself out of any harms, but instead they turn it around. The Sonya falls, but so does Leoric in the meantime, but the damage is as well good. Scene engage again from Kerrigan onto the backline. Rutek on the Ana is in a lot of trouble, and Kerrigan jumps afterwards again, and he tries to jump out, but he can't escape, so it's Ana for the Kerrigan. It's a trade of heroes, and there we see the re-engage coming in, but the Punisher is still at 70%. We see the silence arrow on the Sonya, stopping her whirlwinding, and there we see them coming in for the rest of the team, and it looks like it's gonna be game. Still 50% on the Punisher, and we have no Ana and no Sonya, but they're Punisher securing the kill against ETC as well. Holy ground, stopping him from retreating to the core. Mana Addict is used, shield, and he's gonna save Kalthas for a little bit of time, but not enough as we see the core going down. Things happening all over the map. Has to drop the turret just in time before she gets taunted and taken out by Sylvanas here. So far, it looks like kind of an easy game for Huya Polaki, but I don't think this is decided yet. But yeah, what do you think could be the, talent? And by the way, this could really cost deeply, as we see Garrosh probably fall in here to the damage. He tries to run, and he actually gets another W in, so he survives for the moment. He has no health regaining from the Malfurion on him, and they don't even try to.
So while you can't throw him, really
Area from Leeming, and look at all the Boyetic admitters. There's no way they're gonna kill anything in that area. Instead, we see a team wipe. Instead, well, the only one missing is Blank on the hammer, but Jet Propulsion. No, excuse me, Jet Propulsion. I say the Repulsion from Leeming, doing quite a lot of damage there, and it looks like these 4 men are gonna be enough. They just go through it. Thrall is on the run, but there we come with the 4 men, and they will actually try to secure the kill, and they will do so. Lucio is gonna help with the escape. The camp is actually pushed. We see
4v5 technically up on this point, but PEW they are holding on and potentially look like pushing Hyperlook a little bit back here away from.
And she gets erased. Boom, down you go. More meat and a kill, and they try to go for it. There we see in Mosh just to maybe save himself, but it's not gonna help a lot. Just Sylvanas going in for a quick dance as well before the ETC stops singing and goes down.
Butcher, hello Thrall. How are you feeling? Gold Rider coming in now. Oh, the Mosh on 2 people. Meanwhile, Swamgood just eating the backline. So they don't need the Butcher stack. They just need Swamgood to go in and just.
Cassia, but doesn't follow through with it and charges instead onto the Thrall, who gets rooted by the boss for another time, but he heals a lot and he actually survives. So nobody is killed in that time. Sanctification is there to save everyone on the side of PEW, and they actually finish down the ETC and the Cassia and the core on him. Either way, now Jet. Oh, wow. The Riptire just aborted here from the Rain of Vengeance from the Vala here, and now it looks like still an easy defense for PEW against the first wave. Together with the Pufferfish on the Leoric, follow-up stun. We actually get his Wraith Walk through, but just for a second before. We see an Entomb engage onto the Ana, but ETC is basically there to save her, as none of the damage could follow this up. Now we see a stun against the wall from Oriel onto the Greyman, but he's dropping somewhat low, but tries to re-engage on the Sylvanas, but has to back out now. So no kills exchanged, but still a
Fight going in, but pretty much denied. Oh, the
Entomb off target! Oh boy!
Oh, Junkrat actually. So will the Entomb come
Going in for a big boy flank with that Cataclysm coming in here. Does have the Bellowing Roar as well. Oh, Wailing Arrow landing onto so many people. And the Sanct on top of it here. How does no one die? The bunker comes out, trying to save the red team here. Someone being popped by Blaze. Blaze should definitely fall here. Question mark? And it's definitely Reina that goes down, not the Blaze, but Blaze falls. And thank you, Blaze goes down, but they get a counter kill onto Sylvanas.
Big X-ray roots there. The Deckard was able to get so much damage with the root, but I don't think Knight is going to get away. X-ray's trying to push as many potions he can into the cow, but it's just
To Death Knight here. The root again, and the Sanct coming out on top of it. And that's going to be ETC getting blown up here by the blue team. Now, boss is available. ETC is down. Turn engaged for the sleep dart from MXD onto Ultralisk. Absolutely clutch there.
Really well played there. Ultralist is going to have to run away as Swamp, Groot and Halston are chasing him down. He isn't able to land stun, but oh, Swamp is dropping really low. Deathwing goes across with Catalysm. Big silence on on Deckard, and I don't think he was able to heal the Kerrigan with that big silence. Dino gets away with the Blaze stun, and this team is just absolutely shredding. The Nana boost of Sylvanas doing so much work. Is a really in bad spot with the Zul slowed ultimate. He pops his ultimate to try and do some damage, but I don't think he's going to get away. Ultralist getting the counter kill on Tyrael. Very well played there, but she might be in a bit of trouble. Oh, she's fine.
No,
Chrysalis.
absolutely not. Yeah, Chrysalis coming onto Zul. Dino going in here. Nalabu's coming out here on Sylvanas. Uses that bolt to engage aggressively here. So doesn't have bolt available if she needs to escape. Or E at this moment in time. Either the slide, the stun, the stay a while and listen.
Stay a while and listen, putting Anna to sleep to make sure that the Sylvanas doesn't get healed, and she gets completely shredded, and the huge silence after the sleep. Anna is next on the list as she gets shredded as well. She tried to put the Kerrigan to sleep, but it was just not enough. Deathwing was going to go across, use his Catalysm to get it away. Tyrael is just coming to the party late because he was not invited.
Going in, Swamp Groot taking a lot. Dies, unfortunately, 60%. I think this is clownable.
Oh my goodness. Halston is going to die. He's going to get some trait value. Blank is going to be next on the list. That is a boss going on core. 5 red team members alive.
Though, but it's interrupted immediately by the Sylvanas. But Anna on an island gets blown up here. Stay one and listen as well. With that 20 upgrade, is going to be a silent Sylvanas. And Sylvanas, see you next game as you're taken out as well.
GG. I'm sorry, maybe it's a bit presumptuous, but I'm calling GG here. I don't think there's anything left.
I don't think it's presumptuous at this point. Now, quick control lock your ultimates, and can you get some kills?
Oh, big
Blast
shield
shield
there on
comes
Shelvin, and a combo by Alaric, and he absolutely blows up. But the huge sank to save the Greymane as he gets away. Blaze is just not done. He's still trying to get Greymane in. Anna gets pulled back. Bunker is out of place. Blank is in such a good position to possibly re-engage, but the Bunker is kind of body blocking him a little bit. Anyways, that was a really, really good engage and a really, really good counter engage by
X-Ray getting deleted. And
Greymane
Greymane goes in, nom 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 nom, and secures the kill as well. And Dino falling low and gets killed. As Chelvin still trying to go back in, but doesn't get it.
X-Ray dies and the red team decides that we're off.
Popping the ensemble there, trying to dodge it. Bless Shield's coming out on top of it. Death Knight pops the sanctification, and it's big. And
Oh my goodness. Malfurion is just waiting. He's in that cocoon. He just knows that death sentence is coming for him. Calican is next on the list to get CC bursted down. He does have his D to buy enough time maybe to save him, but I don't think so. Greymane is just not done with him, and Raynor right to him. Death. Engaged there. So much damage going on to the Alaric, and he gets shredded. The Bunker was just not enough to save him. X-Ray managed to get away safely, but Vala does not. Oof, oof.
yeah, and that's just 1, 2, 3, 4 go down.
I wasn't able to keep up with all the deaths. They happened so fast.
4 go down for Hype PEW, and Xenon look to take this second map in decisive fashion in comparison to game number 1.
Very true. This is the red team completely dominated, especially after 7.
The Sonya goes in with that Wrath of Berserker. Damage on top. Swamp Growth falls really low on that Greymane. Massive shot comes out from Stukov. Halcyon falling extremely low on Nubrak and gets taken down, and so does Sylvanas, but they do take down Rhaegar. Bloodlust was popped just before he dies, and they do take down Sylvanas. Sonya's
doing that thing again. Sonya doing that thing that
comes out here. The slow, the root just missing there on Blank. Wailing Arrow coming out just to try and force that disengage.
yes.
In the backline though, a Bloodlust being popped here by Rhaegar. Wailing Arrow comes out, trying to disengage here. Sonya goes back in though, doesn't get the memo. Presses Wrath of Berserker, Sanctification.